Tagumpay greetings to our viewers and listeners. Welcome once again to Salida TeleRadyo of La Filipina National High School, where you will learn another exciting lesson. I am your teacher host, Teacher Fabian B. Lorono. For today, you will learn many things about the attires, textiles, and tapestries of Mindanao, a lesson from Grade 7 Arts. Let us now welcome our art-terrific art teacher from Grade 7, Mrs. Fed Dalma Osa Baricos.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Feby. Hello, dear students. Welcome to another episode of Salida TeleRadyo. I am your art teacher, Fed Dalma Osa Baricos, and today we will be discussing interesting topic. Are you excited to learn? Alright. If you are ready, well, kindly get your self-learning module in Art 7 as well as your pen and notebook so you can take notes of the relevant parts of our lesson today. Shall we start? Alright. Before we start our lesson, let's listen first to this popular song.
Bumabati na may ngiti sa labi. Wow, Mindanao, dito masisilayan, ganda ng kalikasan. Wow, Mindanao,
halina, sumayaw sa tugtog ng kulinta. Sa tunog ng tabal, natin na ay naghabag. Halina, sabayan ng awit ang sipol ng hangin. Yeah, yeah! Halina't sumabay sa buhay dito sa Mindanao. Wow, 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 Mindanao. Wow, 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 Mindanao.
Okay, let's cut it there. Are you familiar with the song? What do you think is the title of the song? Yes, the title of the song is It's Wow Mindanao. And Mindanao is known as the land of promise, right? Now, what is your perception about the land of promise or ang lupang pangako? Well, for me, my perception about this is that Mindanao is rich and distinct in cultural arts, crafts, beliefs, and traditions. Now, based on your answers, what do you think is our lesson today? That's right. Our lesson for today is about attire, textiles, and tapestries of Mindanao. Now, let's have our objectives for today's lesson. At the end of the session, the students are expected to A. Distinguish the characteristics of attire, textiles, and tapestries of Mindanao. B. Cite the elements and principles of arts that can be seen in attire, textiles, and tapestries in Mindanao. And C. Appreciate the importance of attire, textiles, and tapestries in Mindanao. Our objectives will lead to our most essential competency, which is to identify characteristics of arts and crafts in specific areas in Mindanao. I know that you're very excited about the lesson today, but before anything else, let's have first our pre-assessment. This is to check your prior knowledge about the attire, textiles, and tapestries here in Mindanao. I will give the name of the textile and its place of origin. Then, you have to answer with agree if you agree that the textile is really from that place, or disagree if you don't. You will have 5 seconds to answer. Let's start. Okay, number 1. Seputangan is from South Cotabato. Seputangan is from South Cotabato. The answer is disagree. Number 2. Malong is from Lanao. Malong is from Lanao. The answer is agree. Number 3. Tangkulo is from South Cotabato. Tangkulo is from South Cotabato. The answer is disagree. Number 4. Tinalak is from Lanao. Tinalak is from Lanao. The answer, disagree. Number 5. Pinalantupan is from Basilan. Pinalantupan is from Basilan. Okay, the answer is agree. Now, let us know what are the purposes of the attire, textiles, and tapestries in Mindanao. Fabrics or textiles have been used for many different purposes. Historically, hand-woven textiles have been used for personal attire and as tapestries for wall hanging, curtains, carpets, or furniture covering. In Mindanao, different ethno-linguistic groups like the Bilaan, Tiboli, Maranao, Yakan, and many more are very skillful in weaving different kinds of textiles, which plays a very important role in their lives. What are the characteristics of the textiles in Mindanao? Let's begin with the traditional clothing of the Bilaan tribe. Bilaan, or also known as Blaan, is an ethno-linguistic group that lived in some parts of North Cotabato, South Cotabato, and Davao del Sur. They wear clothes woven from abaca, and it is enhanced by putting with embroidery, buttons, and beads. Abaca fiber is highly polished using the ikat process. What is this ikat process? It is a process of dyeing the fabric where the yarns are tightly wrapped with the strings and dyed before weaving. In other words, ito yung proseso sa pagkukulay ng mga bilaan ng kanilang tela. There are 3 colors that contains in the Bilaan textile. First is the shade of black or brown. The second, red or the ochre, which is the darker shade of orange. And the third one is the ecru. This color is the original color of the undyed abaca. They put high value on their textiles like the blankets. These are considered as an important part of the bride dowry. Now, Fuya Bing Masalundulo was a Filipino textile master weaver and a dyer. She credited with preserving the Bilaan traditional weaving and dyeing. So she is known as the master weaver of the Bilaan tribe. Now, let us have the traditional clothing of the Bagobo. Bagobos are a group of people that lived in Davao, southern Mindanao. The ceremonial attire of the Bagobos are complicated in designs. They make these clothes from a special textile woven from abaca fibers called tinalak. The tinalak is a woven from deep brown abaca treated in the ikat process to obtain intricate designs. As you can observe, similar with the bilaan textile, which uses the ikat process, the bagobo also used the same process in dyeing the abaca fiber. And take note that the material in weaving is also the same, which is abaca fiber. Only women are allowed to weave this fabric and men are not allowed to touch the materials used in the process of weaving because they believe that if they break the rules, the fiber will also break and the design will be ruined. The designs are characterized with rhomb or diamond and curved linear patterns. Some of the recognizable motifs in their textiles include those inspired by the natural environment, just like the lightning, the plants, stars, and human figures. Their textile is highly valued also in their society. Men wear tinalak shorts as an undershirt and tinalak coat, while the bagani or the hero wear a blood red clothes and a head kerchief called tangkulo. In the Tagabawa tribe, Bagobo tribe they also have their master weaver. She is no other than Salinta Monon. So Salinta Monon is known as the last Bagobo weaver and a notable weaver of their tribe. The traditional clothing of the Tiboli. Tiboli people are one of the indigenous people of South Cotabato in southern Mindanao. Like the Bagobos, their textile is also called tinalak, which they also considered as sacred. They are famous for their complicated beadwork, wonderful woven fabrics, and beautiful brass ornaments. Tinalak production is a labor-intensive process requiring a knowledge of a range of skills learned from a young age by the women of the tribe. The tinalak is then woven usually in tones of red, white, and black. The product requires months of work to produce a single unique weaving. So, ganun siya katagal gawin. Kailangan nila ng months pa para makaproduce ng isang weaving. It is used for ritual purposes as an offering to the spirits and during festival celebrations. The weavers believed that their gods and ancestors visit them in their dream to teach them the designs and patterns that they have to weave. So, hindi sila basta-basta lang na gumawa ng kanilang sariling disenyo. Kung hindi, kailangan pa nila ng intervention ng kanilang gods and ancestors para mabigyan sila ng design na gagawin nila or i-weave nila. Alright. Lang Dulay is the most famous Tiboli dream weaver who received the National Living Treasures Gawad Manlilikha ng Bayan Award by the NCAA in 1998. The traditional clothing of the Maranao. Maranao are called the people of the lake. They occupy the lands surrounding Lake Lanao. They are known for their malong. Are you familiar with the malong? Okay, so the malong is a traditional Filipino tube skirt that is made of or hand-woven or machine-made multicolored cotton cloth. It bears a variety of geometric designs which composed of different kinds of lines and shapes. It also has floral designs which is often based on an elaborate leaf or vine pattern that is called the ochre design. It plays an important role of the Maranao life as it can be used in various ways, like it can be worn by women as dress or gown, as a hammock or duyan, as a as a basket, a sleeping bag, bathrobe, and many more. In fact, there is a dance that demonstrates the various ways of wearing a malong and its uses. And this dance is known as the Kapa Malong Malong. So this traditional dance of the Maranaos demonstrate the various ways of wearing the malong and its uses. So kung ano-anong gagawin ng malong, dito ipinapakita sa sayaw na Kapa Malong Malong. Next is the traditional clothing of Dayakan. Dayakans are the traditional settlers of Basilan in the southern Philippines. Yakan weavers uses bright, bold, and often contrasting colors in big symmetrical patterns, wherein certain aspects of the pattern are produced identically when the other aspects of the pattern are changed. So, ganun siya ka-intricate. Masyado siyang mahirap gawin na they have the same pattern, pero ang ending, hindi naman pala sila ganun talaga ka-pareho. Traditionally, they wear colorful hand-woven clothes. Every Yakan fabric can be described as unique since the finished materials are not exactly identical. An example of their garment is called seputangan. It is a square cloth having the most complex or difficult design worn by the women around their waist or as head cloth. So here is Ambalang Ausalin. She's respected for her commitment and safeguarding of weaving traditional Yakan textiles, especially the colorful tenon or tapestry weave. She learned the craft at the young age, and she's able to execute the most intricate traditional designs. So these are just the few of the many textiles we have here in the Philippines. I hope you have listened well in our discussions. Now, let me ask you these questions. How do we value the art of making textiles? How do we value the art of making textiles? Yes, we value the art of textile making by learning the importance of it in our culture and by applying it as well in our daily lives. So another question. How do we value the weavers of the textiles? How do we value the weavers of the textiles? Alright, we value the weavers by promoting and patronizing their products so that it will not be forgotten by the next generations. Now, how about you? What are your thoughts about our topic today? I would like you to give your insights about our discussion today. You can write it on a piece of paper, or you can directly type your answer and send it to my personal account in Messenger. Is that clear to you? Okay, so that ends our discussion today. Did you learn something? Well, I hope that you really learn because we will have our assessment. You have 5 seconds to answer each question in our assessment. Are you ready for the assessment? Let's start. Number 1. Who is the most famous Tibuli dream weaver? Who is the most famous Tibuli dream weaver? A. Ambalang Ausalin, B. Lang Dulay, C. Salinta Monon, or D. Fuyabing Masalon Dulo. Who is the most famous Tibuli dream weaver? A. Ambalang Ausalin, B. Lang Dulay, C. Salinta Monon, or D. Fuyabing Masalon Dulo. The correct answer is letter B. Lang Dulay. Number 2. What is the traditional tube skirt that is multicolored cotton cloth bearing a variety of geometric or floral designs and can be used in many ways? A. Malong, B. Sawal, C. Seputangan, D. Tinalak. What is the traditional tube skirt that is multicolored cotton cloth bearing a variety of geometric or floral designs and can be used in many ways? A. Malong, B. Sawal, C. Seputangan, D. Tinalak. The correct answer is letter A. Malong. Number 3. What is the most common material used by the ethno-linguistic groups in Mindanao for weaving their textiles? A. Abaca, B. Bulak, C. Pinya, D. Silk. What is the most common material used by the ethno-linguistic groups in Mindanao for weaving their textiles? A. Abaca, B. Bulak, C. Pinya, D. Silk. The correct answer is letter A. Abaca. Number 4. Why do men are not allowed to touch the materials used in the weaving process of the tinalak? A. They believed that the design will be enhanced. B. They believed that the textile will be more durable. Letter C. They believed that if they break this rule, the fiber will snap and the design will be ruined. Letter D. None of the above. Why do men are not allowed to touch the materials used in the weaving process of the tinalak? A. They believed that the design will be enhanced. B. They believed that the textile will be more durable. Letter C. They believed that if they break this rule, the fiber will snap and the design will be ruined. Letter D. None of the above. The correct answer is letter C. They believe that if they break this rule, the fiber will snap and the design will be ruined. Last number. Number 5. What does the textile of the ethno-linguistic groups in Mindanao tell about their culture and tradition? A. It is used as body ornaments. B. It links to their religious practices and character in their daily lives. C. It is an order from their ancestors to associate textile in their lives. D. None of the above. The correct answer is letter B. It links to their religious practices and character in their daily lives. How's your score? Were you able to answer all the 5 questions? Great job! We're about to end our class today. But before that, I will give you this assignment. You are going to make your own tinalak design and your work should be entitled My Tinalak Design. So here is the procedure. Number 1, create a textile pattern that represents an image from your dream that imitate the tinalak design. So you will put yourself as if you are a Tibuli dream weaver, just like Lang Dulay. Number 2, draw your design on a piece of short bond paper using coloring materials of red, white, and black. Nakuha nyo? 3 kulay ang gagamitin. Red, white, and black. Now, have your picture of your design and send it through Messenger. you can send it to our group messenger, or you can directly PM me, okay? Your output will be rated according to this rubric. For the quality of work, 5 points will be given if you produce high-quality creative work. 4 if you produce quality work. 3 if you produce acceptable work. 2 if you produce work of inconsistent quality. 1 if no work or very poor quality. For the application of arts concept, 5 if you apply all concepts, especially those stressed for the project. 4 if you make an effort to apply skills, especially those stressed for the project. 3 if you apply some of the skills expected for the project. 2 if you rarely apply the expected skills for the project. And 1 if you do not apply the expected skills for the project. I hope nakuha ninyo yon. Okay? So, we're done. Another art-blowing experience has ended. Thank you so much for tuning in. Till next session, keep safe everyone. Bye-bye!
Thank you, Teacher Feldalma, for that art-blowing learning session. Indeed, Mindanao is rich not only with natural resources, but also with various art forms. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson. See you on our next episode, only here at Salida TeleRadyo. God bless you and keep safe.